How about that intro, huh? Welcome to the Highlight Lounge. Algoma University, that's where ACC's all-time leading scorer, Karina Cole, will be continuing her college basketball career. Friday afternoon, Cole signed her letter of intent to attend Algoma University and finish her final 2 years of eligibility with the Thunderbirds. Last season, Algoma was just 1-19 on the season, but with Cole's ability to shoot the rock, she's expected to come in and compete for playing time right away. Cole will finish her ACC career with over 1,000 career points. Prior to her signing day ceremony, I had an opportunity to speak with Karina.
It's a lot to me. I've always wanted to pursue basketball further than high school, and coming to ACC was definitely a blessing, and then the opportunity to go on from here is even more incredible. I never expected to go on, but the opportunity came up and I was glad that I decided to follow through with it. I went up to visit for a couple days and I absolutely loved the team and the campus. It's a small town, so it really resembles ACC as a whole, so I like that, as well as they're going to push me to become the best that I can be as a student athlete. I need to be stronger, so I guess lifting weights is going to be a huge part of my summer. I want to shoot the ball better in terms of extending my range, because they have a different three-point line, so that'll be a challenge as well.
After a tough loss on Saturday evening to Oklahoma, the University of Michigan softball team faced a do-or-die ball game early Sunday versus Florida State. Now in the losers bracket, the Wolverines needed to win 2 ball games Sunday in order to advance to the finals. But first, they had to take care of business against the Seminoles. And there was pressure on both teams Sunday to bring their A game. Who would rise up? We are scoreless until the bottom of the third. FSU has the bases loaded when Megan Betza uncorks this wild pitch. Morgan Cliffman will race on home and score, and Florida State leads 1-0. We head to the top of the 6th. Michigan with their best threat of the afternoon. Runners are on first and second, but Jessica Burrows gets Kelsey Susala to ground out the second, inning over. Top of the 7th, Michigan down to their final few outs when Aiden Falk rips this single into right field for a base hit. The tying run is aboard for the Wolverines. Next batter is Lindsay Montemorano, and she comes up and she tries to lay down the bunt, but it's popped up for out number 2. Now with 2 outs in the 7th. Jessica Burrows gets Amanda Vargas to pop up to first, and that is your ball game. Heartbreak Hotel. Florida State defeats Michigan by the score of 1-0. The Lady Wolverines season comes to an end. Looking to complete the 3-game sweep of the White Sox Sunday, the Tigers turned to Justin Verlander. Verlander came into Sunday with a 1.91 ERA over his last 5 starts. And could Verlander maintain his good form? And could the Tigers deal the White Sox their 9th consecutive loss in division play? Tigers are trailing 1-0 in the 3rd. There's a runner on first for Miguel Cabrera, and he rips this ball down the left field line and into the corner. It'll roll around out there. Cameron Maben is showcasing the wheels. He will race around third and score without a throw, and this ball game is all tied at 1. Bottom of the 5th, and Detroit would take the lead. 3 ducks on the pond for J.D. Martinez, and that's ball 4. Not exactly exciting, but Detroit now has a 2-1 lead. Next batter is Nick Castellanos, and he grounds this ball sharply up the middle. Tyler Saladino makes a great diving stop, but he has no play. It's an infield single and an RBI, and Detroit leads 3-1. Then it would be Justin Upton's turn. Sitting dead red on 3-0, and he turns and burns on this heater down the left field line. Miguel Cabrera and J.D. Martinez will score, and the Tigers are up 5-1. That would be more than enough for Justin Verlander. He allows 2 runs in 7 innings for the win as the Tigers complete the 3-game sweep of the White Sox with a 5-2 victory on Sunday. After a blowout victory in Game 1, the Golden State Warriors look to take Game 2 at home against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Winning Game 2 for Golden State can be just as important for them as the Cavs, as teams who go up 2-0 in a series have gone on to win a championship more often than not. Could Steph Curry and the Warriors put LeBron James and the Cavs in a 2-0 hole? Cleveland would get off to a fast start. Cavs with the nice inbound play as LeBron James finds Kyrie Irving, and the bank is open on Sunday. Cavs up 4 early. Later in the first, LeBron James is pushing the floor when he finds Tristan Thompson for the alley-oop jam. Cavs up 2. Second quarter was all Warriors. Klay Thompson pushes the pace. He finds Sean Livingston, and Livingston will put LeBron in his poster. Warriors within 1. Later in the second, Warriors now up 4 when Klay Thompson finds Draymond Green for the wide-open triple, and you can give them all 3 of those. Warriors up 7. Then it's the MVP, Steph Curry, and Chef Curry is cooking with the sauce. Finishing among the trees, that's why he's the MVP. Golden State would run away and hide. The Warriors hold serve at home and blow out the Cavs in Game 2. Warriors lead the series 2-0. The Ascota Lady Owls are preparing for the 2016 season, and they've had a really good offseason preparing for it. The Lady Owls lost 9 players from last year's team, and they know as a young squad they're going to have to work extremely hard every day to get better and improve as the season goes along.
We're very young, we're inexperienced, so we're excited to see them improve and grow week by month, and over the years. We're going to mostly freshmen and sophomores, so that part's exciting to have a bunch of new crew and see what we can do with them.
Even though they're freshmen, they have a lot of skill, and I know that they can step it up and they can do what we expect them to do.
Communication seems to be the theme of the Lady Owls this preseason. With several key members of the starting lineup no longer with the team due to graduation, there's a lot of new faces on the field for Ascota.
There's a lot of new girls, so we're going to have to come together as a team and really work hard, and we have to do a lot of communication or else we're not going to do good. So having that, we're just going to work together and we're going to make it.
Working in conjunction with team communication, Coach Schneider has been preaching defense to his team this offseason.
We're probably going to be concentrating on defense, which is not what I like to do, but that's what we're going to have to do to start the year with.
The pillar of the Lady Owls defensive unit will be all-district goaltender Taylor Johnson. She's been a mainstay and a leader for Ascota since her sophomore season. Her leadership this year will be paramount to the Owls with such a young squad.
Our goalie's a senior, and she's an all-stater, so she's been vocal since she's been a sophomore, so she's by far our leader.
I'm trying to teach them, like, if they get too close to the net, then the goalkeeper's going to come out on them, and not to freak out, to just stay calm and either dribble around them or get it in the net if you can. Don't get down on them.
Behind the leadership of Johnson and a host of other players, the Lady Owls will look for success and development this season. Ascota begins play this Saturday at the Hazel Park Tournament. After being washed out on Thursday afternoon, Michigan State baseball hit the diamond early Friday morning with their second-round matchup against the Maryland Terrapins. With a win Friday, Sparty advanced to the Saturday afternoon's Big Ten semifinal game, and it was a much better morning for baseball, and both squads gave us an early morning treat. Maryland would get on the scoreboard first. Bottom of the second with the man aboard, Justin Morris lines this ball past the diving reach of Dan Durkin into right field. Nick Sheary will round third. Here's the play at the plate. It's not in time, and Maryland is on the board at 1-0. Top of the fourth, and Sparty gets things going. There's 2 men on for Dan Chmielewski, and he drives this up the box and into center field. Durkin will pass go, collect $200, and we are now all tied. Bottom of the fifth, still tied at 1 when Anthony Papio busts out the trot. That ball is crushed to straightaway left, and some fan dressed as a seat now has a souvenir. Terps now out front 2-1. Top 6, same score until Jordan Zimmerman goes bridge work. That ball is crushed into the bullpens for a solo Jimmy Jack, and we are tied again. Back and forth these two teams go. Top of the 8th, and State would take the lead with the man aboard. It's that man again, Jordan Zimmerman, and he smokes this ball past the diving second baseman into right field. Corey Young is going to round third. He will score, and Michigan State is up 3-2. Sparty's Ninja Warrior is loving it. Here he comes. There he is. Later in the inning, runners on the corners when Matt Byers grounds this ball to first. Bodnick makes a great diving stop, but the Terps are unable to roll up the double play. Zimmerman will score, and Michigan State will take this one against Maryland by the final of 4-3. Sparty will play again Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock. Whittemore Prescott for a baseball tournament Saturday afternoon. In the semifinals, the Tigers squared off against the Owls of Ascota. On a beautiful day for baseball, Coach Furman had his boys ready to play. Top of the first, Hillman is threatening when Jared Juergens rips this ball into center field for a base knock. Dylan Stanky is going to race around third. He will score, and the Tigers are up 1-0. Later in the inning, Kane Hunt is going to come to the plate, and he pokes this ball past the third baseman into left field. That'll score Juergens, and Hillman is up 2-0. But Ascota would hang tough and hang around early. Runners on the corners when this pitch gets by Stanky. That'll play a run for the Owls, and Ascota is on the scoreboard. But the Tigers' offense was just too much on the afternoon. Now up 4-1 in the third when Kenyon bounces this ball to second. It'll bounce over the second baseman's glove and into right. That'll plate 2 more runs. Hillman would go on to continue the hit barrage. They knock off Ascota 11-2. Hillman would go on to win the tournament championship game 12-9 over Whittemore Prescott. What else can I say about the Tigers that hasn't already been said before? This team is struggling mightily. Now, you can't win a division in May, but you can play yourself out of it. So in short, the Tigers need to start winning. And to Camden Yards we go, and the Tigers would end up getting on the scoreboard first. Miguel Cabrera had just seen about enough runner aboard, and Miggy unloads on this Mike Wright offering because clearly Miguel is master of his domain. That's over the bullpens, a 2-run blast for Detroit, and the Tigers are up 2-0. Bottom of the 6th, and here come the Birds. After a 1-out double by Adam Jones, Mark Trumbo lines this one in to left. It's going to get over the head of Stephen Moya and up against the wall. Jones will score, and Trumbo will slide in safely with the double. Next batter is Matt Wieters, and Joe Boo needs a refill. That's a 2-run blast, and the O's are now in front 3-2. Bottom of the 7th, it is Jonathan Scope, and he decides to jump ship. That one's a souvenir for the paying customers. Baltimore is now up 4-2. Bottom of the 8th, with the bases loaded, the Orioles put this one away. His mama calls him Jonathan, so I'm going to call him Jonathan. Jonathan Scope launches this one deep to left into the Baltimore night for a grand slam. The Baltimore Orioles come back on the Tigers again. They win this ball game 9-3. And Alpena High hosted the 4th annual Barlow Brawl Saturday afternoon, and just the turnout was tremendous. Over 200 kids from all across northern Michigan competed in the wrestling tournament in honor of Alpena mainstay Tom Barlow, who passed away from cancer. But his passion and love for the sport of wrestling remains alive through his special event. There were 62 weight brackets with competitors ranging from ages 4 years old to as old as 8th graders. Competition was fierce, but athletes had a great deal of fun watching as well.
It means a lot to me. All these people wrestled for my dad. My dad was around all these kids. Good to see him out here wrestling.
This place, it's a lot of nice people I've been wrestling.
It's good to see a lot of young kids out wrestling, staying out of trouble, finding stuff to do.
Good morning, everyone. Sunday afternoon, the Tigers hit the diamond trying to salvage a win after losing the first 3 games against the Orioles in Baltimore. The Tigers tried to remain upbeat through this tough stretch of ball games with all 25 men saying the right things. Sunday, rookie Michael Fulmer told the slab for the Tigers looking to get back in the win column. And it was a gorgeous day for baseball Sunday afternoon. Detroit would strike first. Top of the first with a runner aboard, Miguel Cabrera smokes this ball into left field. Here comes Ian Kinsler around third. He will score without a throw, and the Tigers jump out to an early 1-0 lead. Bottom half of the inning, and the Birds come out swinging. Here comes Adam Jones, and this ball's roped over the head of Stephen Moya and up against the wall. Joey Rickard will round third and come around and score from first, and we are all tied at 1. Later in the inning, it's Jonathan Scope, and he comes up and he rips this single into left field. Jones will score. Here comes Chris Davis. He will score, and the Orioles are out front 3-1. But Detroit would battle back. Now down 3-2, Ian Kinsler at the plate, and that's a Gadhima. He goes bridge work over Kevin Gosman, and we are all tied. Top 5, and Detroit would take the lead with a runner aboard. James McCann rips this single into left. Here comes Jay up. He will score from second, and the Tigers have taken a 4-3 lead. But in the bottom of the 5th, Baltimore will strike back. It's the Macho Man, Manny Machado, and he snaps into that Slim Jim. Machado crushes this one the other way. It's a 2-run shot, and the Birds are out front 5-4. But the Tigers would hang tough Sunday. Top 8, 2 down, 2 strikes when J.D. Martinez unloads on this pitch deep to center field. That'll get into the Orioles bullpen, and we are all tied. Next batter is Miguel Cabrera, and Miggy crushes this one to left. That's back-to-back Jimmy Jacks, and the Tigers are back out front 6-5. Bottom of the 9th, and K-Rod on for the save when he gets Adam Jones to ground this one to short. Jose Iglesias is there, and you can put that in the win column. The Tigers battle back and come from behind for the victory over the Orioles 6-5. Detroit will be back home on Monday versus the Twins. Alpena High School hosted a 3-team girls soccer tournament Saturday afternoon. In Game 1, the Wildcats met the Braves of Tawas, and in somewhat frosty conditions, the Wildcats and Braves squared off against each other, and the Wildcats would strike early and often in the first half, already up 1-0. Alpena's Emma Kelly is on the attack. She'll send one into the box where it's one touch by Chloe Ferguson. She strikes this one home just inside the post, and the Wildcats are up 2-0. That would be your score at half. In the second half, Alpena would strike again. The Wildcats showing excellent poise under pressure when this touch pass by Courtney Jones finds the right foot of Molly Gerard. She rips one headed to the top of the net. It can't be handled by the netminder. It finds the back of the net for Alpena. 3-0 Wildcats. Then late in the second half, the Wildcats would add one more for good measure. This through ball is off the left foot of Isabel O'Neill, and she does not miss. She goes top shelf where Mama hides the cookie jar. Alpena knocks off Tawas by the score of 4-1. Unfortunately for Alpena, they would finish the afternoon 1-1 after falling to Father Gabriel Richard in Game 2. After winning their first game of the afternoon, the Lady Owls of Oscoda took on Shrine High School in Game 2. Unfortunately for the Owls, this one was all Shrine. Already up 1-0 when Haley Robinson turns on the afterburner. She goes a dipsy-do around a few defenders, and she sends a shot on net. It's initially stopped, but there's Teresa Lowry, and she cleans up the garbage. She stuffs it home, and it's 2-0 Shrine. Later in the first half, Shrine is threatening for more when Robinson again makes her way around a few defenders. And with the point-blank shot, she is going to be denied by Taylor Johnson. A nice save by the keeper, but Shrine was just too much for Oscoda on the afternoon. Late in the first half, Shrine is on the attack again when Haley Robinson, who's all over this highlight, splits the defenders, and with her left foot, she finds the corner of the net. Shrine knocks off Oscoda by the score of 3-0. After Friday night's big victory over Indiana, the Lady Wolverines hit the diamond Saturday afternoon with an opportunity to advance to the Big Ten Tournament Championship. The Wolverines are the defending champions, yet the program has not won back-to-back Big Ten Tournament titles since 2005-2006. And after a long rain delay, the Lady Wolverines met up against Penn State with a shot at the title game on the line. Wolverines would get on the scoreboard first. Top of the first when Kelsey Susala pokes this ball over the first baseman's head and into right field. Sierra Lawrence will score, and it's 1-0 Maize and Blue. Next batter is Tara Blanco, and she absolutely tank mushes this pitch. She crushes that one deep to left. That's a 2-run blast for the Wolverines. They are up 3-0. Not to be outdone, next batter is Aiden Falk, and she jumps ship. That's back-to-back Jimmy Jacks for the Wolverines. They put up a 4 spot in the first inning. Bottom of the 6th, and it's 5-1 game when Sierra Lawrence tacks on a little insurance. This ball is smoked up the middle into center. That'll plate another run. Michigan knocks off Penn State 6-1. They would face Minnesota in the championship game. And in Game 2, the Wolverines would jump on the scoreboard first. Top of the first, Sierra Romero crushes this one to dead central. That's a solo jack, and the Wolverines are up 1-0. Minnesota responds. Bottom half of the inning with the bases loaded, and Megan Betson throws this one away. Mackin would score, and we are all tied at 1. Top of the third, Michigan runners on second and third when Kelly Christner smokes this one in the left. That one is going to be caught on the run by Kayla Wenner, but Sierra Lawrence will tag and score from third, and the Wolverines are back out front 2-1. Back come the Golden Gophers with 2 aboard. Maddie Houlihan, no relations to Patches O'Houlihan, lifts this one to center field. That's plenty deep to score a run, and we are all tied at 2. And that's where we stand right now, as this one is still in progress.
Though this may be a young squad, the girls here at Tawas know that they have expectations through the roof. The foundation for excellent play was established last year with a deep playoff run. And though they didn't quite come away with a championship, the expectations this year is to at least repeat upon what they did and hopefully improve upon their performances from last year.
I'm hoping we do the same, if not better. We've got a young team, and I think we're going to develop pretty well, but I'm hoping to get to the same spot.
We do have big shoes to fill this year. We hope to come off strong this year, put a lot of pressure on it. Last year's team, we did phenomenal last year. I hope that we can just come off strong just like we did last year.
Though there are expectations to perform this season, the Braves know that early in the season there may be a few hiccups along the way. With new players stepping into primetime roles, early season development and leadership from existing starters will be paramount to Tawas's development as the season progresses.
It's an adjustment. We've got some who've never played before, and we've got some who have played before, and it's trying to come together as a team, and the returning players have really stepped up and been explaining it. This is my 3rd year, so they kind of know what I'm looking for now, and they're really doing a good job helping each other out.
The thing that I'm really trying to teach them is if you work hard and you're dedicated, the rest will come. The skills will come with the practice, just as long as you're dedicated.
I hope to see my team develop better skills. We are beginning off right now with a lot of younger girls that haven't played before. And I know for a fact that with the potential that this team has, that they can do that.
The Braves have been putting in extra effort this offseason in preparation for the 2016 season. Coaches have noticed, and there's a lot of optimism around this team.
They're excited for the season. They're really putting in the extra effort, making sure they're here before. And I had girls take balls and work over the weekend together, and so they're really stepping up and really want to achieve.
The foundation has been established, and the work is being put in. With just 3 seniors on the roster this year, Tawas could be formidable not only this year, but